Unlock the secrets to a happier, more fulfilling life with Dale Carnegie's timeless wisdom. Discover how enthusiasm for your workday and better personal relationships can transform your daily routine, helping you understand and harness the power of human nature. How to Enjoy Your Life and Your Job. 1955 offers advice on getting more out of your daily life by putting more enthusiasm into your workday and enhancing your personal relationships. It explains how human nature influences our behavior, allowing you to develop your interpersonal skills and gain a better understanding of yourself. Let's quickly know about the author. Dale Carnegie was an author, corporate trainer, and creator of self-improvement courses. Despite being born into poverty on a Missouri farm, he is one of the best-selling self-help authors of all time, with timeless works such as How to Win Friends and Influence People and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. These titles are still extremely popular today, decades after their initial release. We all want to make the most of our short lives, and for many of us, that includes having a rewarding job and meaningful relationships. Despite this universal goal, many of us struggle to fulfill it. Some people may enjoy their professions, but the daily grind causes them stress. Others may adore their partners but struggle to resolve differences of opinion. Even if our circumstances aren't ideal, we can always raise our happiness levels. The greatest way to do this is to understand human nature. Once you understand how you, and everyone else, are hardwired, you can approach work and relationships more strategically in order to achieve satisfaction and meaning in each day. Stay with me till the end of this video. Together, we will gain insights on how to enjoy life and work from this timeless book, which we summarized into its 8 main ideas as follows. 1. Your emotions, not your work, are the source of your fatigue. Work exhaustion is not due to physical work, but rather emotional factors. Dr. Brill believed that emotional factors are the primary cause of fatigue for desk workers, as anxiety and feeling unappreciated produce nervous tension that wears you out. Physical actions like scowling, straining eyes, and hunching shoulders do not improve performance but squander your energy reserves, making you feel tired at the end of the day. To combat fatigue, make relaxation a habit, even one practiced at work. Effective relaxation begins with the eyes, which require a significant amount of our body's nervous energy. Close your eyes several times a day and spend a minute silently telling all muscles controlling your eyes to let go. Slowly, your muscles will start to obey and the tension will fall away. After closing your eyes, shift your focus to another part of your body, such as your jaw or shoulders. Picture your body as a floppy sock, and Dale Carnegie even kept an old maroon sock on his desk to remind himself to relax. Being tired doesn't mean you've worked well, but it means you've worked inefficiently. At the end of each day, evaluate your tiredness and identify whether it was work that wore you out or how you worked that did. We'll look more closely at where all this fatigue is coming from and how to combat it in this next main idea of the book. 2. Do not confuse tiredness with boredom. Boredom can cause tiredness, not exhaustion. In the 1930s, psychology professor Dr. Joseph Barmack observed that students who took tests they didn't enjoy reported feeling drowsy, weary, and irritable. Boredom lowers blood pressure and oxygen consumption, which cause their physical symptoms. Exercises that excites you can provide a renewed burst of energy, even if your muscles are sore. Mental exhilaration overcomes physical fatigue. In the workplace, incidental activities like dealing with interruptions or resolving issues caused by other team members can leave you weary and headache-ridden. When you're productive and in the zone, you're flooded with energy. If you don't enjoy your job, it doesn't mean you're doomed to eternal fatigue. Instead, find ways to generate interest in what you do to tap into that energy. Set a challenge for yourself, such as counting how many forms you complete in 1 hour and trying to beat that record the next hour. This sense of competition will make dull tasks more interesting. Throughout the day, redirect your thoughts to positive feelings like happiness, courage, and peace. Reflecting on what you're grateful for can help shift your mood when work boredom is getting you down. 3. Change your attitude towards criticism. King Edward VIII learned a valuable lesson about human nature when he was a teenage prince at Dartmouth College. His fellow cadets regularly kicked him, and when the college's commodore asked why they bullied him, they confessed that they wanted to boast that they kicked the king when he would eventually ascend the throne. People attack others because they want to feel important and resent those with better education or success. Unjust criticism can be a powerful weapon, and while you cannot control whether someone will criticize you, you can control how you react. Unjust criticism is something you can learn to ignore, and most of the time, your attacker's thoughts have moved on. To avoid reacting to unfair criticism, focus on following your heart. Eleanor Roosevelt learned this technique from her Auntie Bai, who encouraged her to follow her heart and do what was right regardless of others' judgment. Charles Schwab also learned this lesson from an older German employee who laughed in the face of unjust criticism. Firing angry words at attackers will only feed the dispute, but a belly laugh will disarm them, making it impossible for them to continue their assault. 4. Appreciation is key to successfully influencing others. Sigmund Freud's theory suggests that people are motivated by a desire for greatness, which drives us all to feel important. This need for importance often goes unmet, leading to actions like bragging about our kids or buying a sports car. However, few harness this potential, as it's the secret to motivating others. Successful managers often inspire their teams, not just their technically skilled professionals. When we want someone to do something for us, we often resort to reason, threats, or giving orders. Expressing sincere appreciation is more likely to get the desired result, as it makes a person feel important and satisfying that primal need. By using gratitude and encouragement to incentivize others, we can transform lives. For example, a teacher in Detroit asked a sight-impaired school kid named Stevie Morris to help her find a lost mouse, which awoke a powerful talent within him. This little boy grew up to become renowned singer and songwriter Stevie Wonder. Every person you interact with, whether they're family members, work colleagues, or members of your community, shares this desire to be valued. By expressing appreciation, you can empower and motivate everyone you meet, gaining deeper relationships and dedicated followers. 5. Engage with others by demonstrating interest in them. Dogs show genuine interest in humans, which attracts them like a magnet. Humans are more interested in themselves than anything else, so by showing interest in others, you appeal to their greatest concern. A study by the New York Telephone Company found that the word "I" was used 3,900 times in phone calls. Humanity's self-centric inclinations make us always be attracted to someone who takes an interest in us. Showing an interest in others is a powerful way to win loyalty. Theodore Roosevelt's love for his staff at the White House was due to his attention to their hobbies and making no one under his notice. This endeared him to his staff, who remained loyal even after his time as president ended. To connect with others, focus on what you can do for them, not on grand gestures. Small, selfless acts are powerful. For example, Carnegie faked an interest in astrology and asked his friend when their birthday was, committing the date to memory and writing it in his diary. This made them feel valued and deepened the bond between them. 6. Simply telling someone they're incorrect won't change their perspective. Theodore Roosevelt, a distinguished figure of the 20th century, knew he wouldn't be right 100% of the time, but he believed that being right 75% of the time would be an extraordinary achievement. Most people, like Roosevelt, behave like they're always right and are quick to tell others they're wrong. However, this rarely leads to the desired outcome, as it hurts their pride and self-respect, making them resentful or aggressive. To change someone's mind, suggest that you may have made a mistake and need to explore the facts to put the matter right. No one can object to you wishing to reconsider your position by re-examining the facts, and in doing so, you and your opponent will unearth the truth. Admitting that you may be wrong transforms the situation from a potentially aggressive encounter to one with scope for open-mindedness. By admitting that you aren't always right, you create space for your opponent to do the same. All humans are illogical, biased, and susceptible to pride and fear, so unless we feel safe and supported, we'll passionately stick to our positions. For example, Carnegie bought new drapes for his home, and he lamented about the bill. His friend defended his choice, but Carnegie's gentle nature made him feel comfortable enough to admit that he couldn't afford the fine furnishings herself. If there's space for understanding, we're more likely to admit we're wrong. 7. Use positivism to gain support. Socrates of Athens, a renowned philosopher, revolutionized human thought by asking his opponents a series of questions that led them to answer yes. This method, which he called buy-in, was more effective than forcing ideas onto others. Socrates' method of exploring arguments allowed him to change their point of view, as his nervous, glandular, and muscular systems steeled themselves to protect themselves from rejection. Skilled speakers often start discussions by prompting a yes response from their audiences. This method is more effective than trying to force ideas onto others, as we are always more invested in our own thoughts. Using buy-in can also help resolve differences of opinion between friends or family members. For example, if you want your family to vacation in Washington, D.C., but your partner wants to head to California, ask your daughter if she would like to see all the places she'd been studying in her U.S. history course. Her excitement will plant a seed in your partner's mind, leading them to suggest the family vacation in the nation's capital. By allowing others to claim ideas as their own, you can create space for people to embrace them on their own terms, leading to a positive outcome. 8. Adapt your critique style to achieve the best results. A common misunderstanding about offering constructive criticism is the belief that you should always start with a compliment and replace but with and. This method is more effective because it subtly highlights areas for improvement without making the recipient defensive. Talking about one's own mistakes can also be useful in delivering constructive criticism. For example, Eva G. Dillistone, an engineer from Manitoba, Canada, shared his own struggles with spelling and used an index book to overcome it. This approach not only improved the quality of his secretary's work but also made him feel valued. Delivering constructive criticism in a positive and respectful manner can lead to better results. This approach not only encourages growth and makes employees feel valued, which is less likely to rebel or become resentful. To recap, the 8 core messages on how to enjoy your life and your job are: 1. Your emotions, not your work, are the source of your fatigue. 2. Do not confuse tiredness with boredom. 3. Change your attitude towards criticism. 4. Appreciation is key to successfully influencing others. 5. Engage with others by demonstrating interest in them. 6. Simply telling someone they're incorrect won't change their perspective. 7. Use positivism to gain support. And 8. Adapt your critique style to achieve the best results. The core message of this book summary is that, as humans, we are heavily impacted by our emotions. They even influence our metabolism and energy levels. When we feel underappreciated, we become fatigued, depressed, and resistant to constructive criticism. However, once you understand how your emotions influence how you function, you can gain control and begin to enhance the quality of your life by lowering your stress levels and diffusing tension with others. You can also utilize your understanding to make others feel appreciated, spreading optimism wherever you go. If you resonate with this video, please share some love. Hit that like button and share this with others who may find it useful. Join us in this wonderful journey by subscribing for free, and together, let us make a better world. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next or other videos.